Hey friends, how are you doing? Welcome to the second episode of my Glow Up series where I'll be talking about how I improve my health, my body, and my well-being in general. In this episode, I'll talk you through my pantry, what I changed to lose weight and to improve my health and my whatever that I put in my mouth. So today the weather looks absolutely beautiful and I already finished my morning workout. I woke up feeling a little bit frustrated. I know that I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't actually, first thing in the morning, I grab my phone and I scroll through the news on Twitter and read really horrible news related to some current situation at home that is really awful. That really got me quite upset. So I decided to do some workout. Get up, get ready. Just gonna show it to you. Like, oh my god, it doesn't get focus at all. But yes, it's absolutely gorgeous. I would say it's definitely a perfect day to go out. I try to get as productive as possible in the morning and then I'll see if I finish everything as I planned, and then I might just cycle outside and just to experience this last bit of sun. Okay, it's lunchtime, work is looking great. Let's make some lunch together. So while I'm cooking, I thought, hey, it would be great to show you, what's in my pantry to see what I've changed. Ingredients, condiments, seasoning to lose weight. So let's start with my saltiness seasoning first. So here I have pink Himalayan salt, which usually I will use this just to kind of like sprinkle on top or add into my baking. And the next one I have sea salt, which I definitely use it quite a lot. And here I have white miso paste, which I just recently incorporated back into my cooking. Like when I was on my strict diet, I did not use it at all because the amount of sodium that is in there is quite high, and when you cook like miso dishes, then you tend to use quite a lot of, in addition to everything else that you will put into the sauce. Here I also have regular soy sauce, which actually I did not use at all since I changed my diet. Then I just opt for the less salt soy sauce or low sodium soy sauce. Moving on to the oil ingredients here. So obviously I have extra virgin olive oil, and I also have just like the regular olive oil to cook something on the pan, but this would be when I make hummus or when I make salad. I still use sesame oil, but I don't really use a lot because most people would find sesame oil can have really strong taste and strong smell. So that will be just kind of more like additional drizzling over something, or just for very, very Asian salad. This is also my main oil, which is coconut oil. I use it for everything, for frying eggs, frying an omelette, doing some stir fry, roast my sweet potato, put it into my baking, everything really. Moving on to the sweetener, my main choice is honey. This is organic coconut sugar that I got from Zero Waste Shop. So I put in the yogurt pot. Coconut sugar is definitely a better alternative, and they're not super sweet, and they give very caramelly flavor, which in fact like enhance your baking really well. And recently I discovered date syrup or date nectar. I looked it up online and then I found that it actually gives better nutritional benefits than sugar because it comes with more fiber and vitamins from the actual dates. So I just got this one and absolutely love it. It's also like probably a better alternative, especially if you're vegan. So these would be my main ingredient in my pantry, and these will also be the ingredients in our cooking today. since I'm adding quite a lot of miso today, I'm gonna use a little bit less of the soy sauce. So just 2 tablespoons maybe, 1.5. Here I'm adding a little bit of mirin, which is Japanese rice wine, which usually gives a little bit of, it's not acidic, but it definitely have some sweetness, which is quite essential for this particular dish that I'm making. So I'm gonna stir that through, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of honey to enhance that sweetness. You know, you need a little bit of salt. You need to have that sort of like savory sweet, about half a teaspoon, because I don't eat very sweet, and if I want to, then I can add more. I think this is my fundamental approach to my cooking. Why do I keep mentioning about sodium and salt? Sodium is a mineral that you can get from salt, and it is definitely important for your body. But what I find is that once you reduce down the amount of salt that you take, then your body is less bloated, because the way that sodium works is that it tends to absorb or to keep water in your body. And you know, when you eat very salty food, that triggers your body to be dehydrated, and you drink a lot of water in, and then the sodium will store those water, and then you end up being bloated. And fun fact is that the saltier you eat, then the saltier your palate will crave. One thing that I find after I change my diet is that I eat way less salty, which is a good thing. If you follow my Instagram and if you follow my reels and how I cook my food, my approach is that I will, add just enough salt, like say just a pinch, and then I cooked it, and then I taste as I go along, because if something go wrong, then you can't fix it. And that will, for you to also be a bit more mindful with fast food or with ready-to-eat meals. Sometimes they add a lot more salt and preservations to cover the quality of the ingredients. But when it comes to home cooked meal, especially if you cook it yourself, you take control over your cooking. And to cook good food, sometimes you need to add a little bit of love in that, a little bit of aromatics, and you need to add some seasoning, and you need to give it some time for all the flavors to marinate together. The less salty I eat, the more I get to appreciate the actual flavor of those ingredients. I think that is something that I'm really thankful for, and I would encourage you to try the same, because life is just so hard. You need to appreciate more of little things that in your life, and appreciate the flavor of the nature that it brings to us, especially when they're at its peak of the season. You don't need more to make them good, because they're already perfect as they are. I'm only gonna cook for one, so that's why I'm using only half of the aubergine. And if you're gonna cook for more, then please feel free to increase the volume. Cut them into wedges. This knife is really dull now. It's time to sharpen up. I don't even know why I didn't take my shirt off. I'm just gonna also mention that my approach to cooking doesn't only apply to salt, but also with everything, especially with sugar and any acid or any seasoning. It's just that I get to actually value them, and I actually get to, how can I put it? I just feel like I'm building a relationship with my cooking and with my food by not just assume that, oh my god, I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of sugar in there just because. And that's how I also learned to improve how to cook, and to actually understand what my palate needs and what my palate actually reacts to. So it goes in holistically. I don't usually add a lot. And same as the sauce that I'm preparing now for my lunch is, I'm preparing it, but that doesn't mean that I have to use all of them. I might just like maybe scoop in 1 tablespoon and then I taste it and then oh, it's not quite right, and then I just add a little bit more. You learn how to distinguish between different seasonings, whether like this soy sauce give this flavor, this mirin give this flavor, and like as a holistic experience you get to also improve, to get to learn how to cook, especially learn how to cook for yourself. I'm aware that it's not for everyone, but I do say that just don't overdo it with seasoning to begin with, and you can adjust as you go, and then you might find that it's actually you have to use way less salt than you thought. This is also based on true story, because sometimes I thought yeah, I'm gonna need more salt, but then after simmering it for 5 minutes I said, oh, it's actually quite nice. So yeah. So here we go, guys. This is my lunch for today. It's just the miso glazed aubergine on my edamame gluten-free high protein noodles, but obviously it's up to you. You can also like have it with any egg noodles that you like. That's how I cook, and I hope today you get to see a little bit of my pantry and how I choose the condiments and the ingredients and seasonings to improve my cooking and improve my diet in general, to lose weight and to not feel bloated, and to kind of like be more mindful about what I put in my body. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm just gonna enjoy my lunch now, and hopefully I'll get to go out and enjoy the sunshine. I'll see you in my next video of this Glow Up series, where I'll be talking how I improve my health and my weight loss, and improve my well-being in general. I hope you have a very lovely day, evening, whenever you're watching this video, and I hope all of this positivity comes to you. Bye.